What's up, guys? This is Mike from Robb's MetalWorks, and I'm out here at the Warehouse Music venue in support of the Demonic Gathering event. I'm here with Tony from Vital Remains. Tony, how's it going?
It's going good, man. It's great to be here in San Antonio.
Awesome, man. Thanks. Appreciate you coming out here. So, as Vital Remains starts to gain more notoriety in your career, for those that may not be familiar with you guys, can you shed a little light on the history of Vital Remains?
Well, we started about 20 years ago in 1989 in Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm the founding member and the last original member still here, still going, and I've been writing the music since the beginning, and a lot of the fans know that, and so I've been here since the beginning, and we've come a long way. We've put out several albums, different labels over the years. Let Us Pray on Peaceville, and Into Cold Darkness, and then we got on Osmos, and we put out Forever Underground and Dawn of the Apocalypse, and then we signed with Century Media and put out the most brutal record I think we've ever done, Dechristianized, with Glenn Benton of Deicide, and and then Icons a year and a half ago, and that's pretty much our discography as far as that, the main albums. I mean, we got demos and everything's been re-released over the years, so we've got quite a few things out there. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome, very cool, man. Appreciate it. So, some of your older music had a little bit more of a kind of a black metal influence in it, and I know some of it now is kind of a little more like straightforward death metal. So, can you tell us what led to the change, the shift towards the death metal?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up old school, man. For me, it's, I grew up with Venom and Merciful Fate and Bathory and Destruction and Sodom and old Slayer, old Metallica, and, so for me, I mean, the black metal influence that you hear in the older stuff I think goes back more towards like Bathory influence or something like that, the older stuff, you know what I mean? A little bit of Dark Throne influence too, and and so it's like, obviously growing up, old school into Venom, there's some Venom, definitely Venom and Merciful Fate influences. I think that's what's in what you hear a little hints of, because it's that combination of liking the old death metal and black metal, and then getting into the later stuff that came out in the late 80s and early 90s, the Florida death metal scene. So then there's this whole combination of formula in there that, for me, that's what makes it dynamic, and that's probably my influences. As far as the stuff progressing into the last couple albums, I think there's still hints of black metal in there. Yeah. There's still hints of old school in there, and there's still hints of the brutality of the more, modern, just straight out blasting brutality that I love so much. So that's the thing that I try to incorporate, is just everything, all my influences, all in there and stuff. Just a big pot. Cauldron of melting pot of different things, different genres of styles that I like, so that's kind of how that, I still think we have it in there. I mean, some people say we're Black Death. I mean, there's all kinds of labels, Black Death, barbaric war metal, all this cool shit. So we're just proud to be death metal, man, and be part of the whole underground scene, and that's what we're proud of most. So
yeah, there you go. I agree with that. Like you said, it says the cauldron of metal right there. That's it.
Yeah, definitely.
So can you tell us a little bit about the latest album, Icons of Evil?
Well, I mean, we recorded, down where Eric Rutan, he produced it, down at, Monterey Recording Studios in Florida. Again, with Century Media. Glenn, again, did vocals. We really worked hard. I mean, he really worked us hard. I mean, Eric's definitely, because he's a great musician as well, so he really worked us to death. I mean, we really were like brutalized down there. It was like a boot camp of metal. He wouldn't let anything go by, and he really wanted the best performances. And it's another album that we're definitely, that I'm very proud of, and we put a lot of work in, and again, it's like, we tried to go after like trying to top Dechristianized, but at the time, Dave and I really thought, there's no way we're going to be able to top this. Let's just go for the best we can do, and that's what we ended up doing. And I'm real proud of it. I mean, the production's a lot better, I think, but there's just something about Dechristianized that just really sticks with me. Yeah. And it's just, I'm definitely my two best works, I think, but it's just definitely real proud of the record, and it's just a little bit different production-wise, a little better, but yet. There's some things in there that we've tried that we didn't try on other albums, so I'm proud of it, man. I'm just like really, really proud of the album. It's doing real well, and we're just happy to be playing these songs. It's just great.
Well, like you said, you worked with Eric, on this most recent album here, and being a musician himself, I'm sure that definitely, probably helped out. But when you're writing an album, not just the most recent one, but any of them, what's your process generally like?
My process is usually like I sit at home in a room, dark room, and just play. You know what I mean? And Dechristenize actually took me a year, and so did Icons. It really takes a long time. I'm not one of these guys that could rip out riffs like daily. I mean, some days you come up with something, some days you don't. It's like you writer's block sometimes, and you get your own worst critic, like, this isn't good enough. This is a shitty riff, whatever. And so you just try to do your best, and that's kind of how I do it. And once I get the song kind of structured and found the foundation of it, that's when I would get together with Dave and work out the drum parts. And usually I'm like more of a composer. Like when I write a riff, I usually know what kind of a beat I want to it. So I would assign him to, like, I say, okay, I want this, a blast or an upbeat or whatever. And so that's kind of how I would write. I just write my music at home, and when I got it all done, I go down and I get with him, and we go down to the rehearsal room and just rip it out for hours and hours, 8-10 hours a day, or 5 days a week, and then till we get it. And that's kind of how I work.
So the band also had a live DVD that came out recently, Evil Death Live. Do you feel that DVD captured the live essence of y'all as well?
I think it did. I mean, it took us 18 years or something, 19 years to finally get a DVD or anything of official video footage of the band. And when we first got up there on stage in Poland and seeing all the 5,000 people, we were kind of nervous, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out, And then once we started watching it back, we were like surprised that it actually came out so good. And so it's definitely another moment, in my career that I'm proud of, the way it finally came out. And to play in front of the Polish fans, man, they're like some of the best fans in the world. And it was just it was just great, man. It was really awesome just to to do that. And the quality is amazing, 5.1 surround sound, and when we play it, I mean, I'm like, wow, can't believe we made it through. It was cool. It was cool, man. It was definitely something with the artwork and everything, the way it came together. It's definitely something we're proud of, and I'm proud of, and everything. And so, and it's doing real well, and it seems like the fans are really getting, like, for people that maybe haven't seen us, they get an idea of how the music is live, that we can replicate it live. I mean, the brutality's there, the harmony's there, the classical stuff, everything's in there, and it's not something that we can't do live. We actually show that we can play it live, and that's something I'm really proud of.
And that's absolutely true. I mean, that's a whole other element to the music, definitely, to do it live. And
studios, and then live, you're like a little disappointed. I consider Vital Remains more of a live band. Studios for me, man, are like really hard and really like, like mechanical, and like you got to force things, and you really, everything's got to be so precise. Where live, you can feed off the crowd, and it's just more feeling. And I like to play live because that's to me the best,
Absolutely, I agree. So as we delve deeper into 2009, what are your touring plans for this current album? Are there any particular bands that you would like to tour with, maybe?
I mean, we just finished the tour with Deicide. We did the 2 weeks, and we had a great time with Glenn and everybody, and I'd like to thank him. Thanks, Glenn, and for bringing us out, and we had a great time. He came out and did some songs with us, and we sold out at the Key Club in LA, and thanked all the fans that came out. And now we're doing a couple dates with Macabre, and we did a couple dates with Steve Hashim's other band, Order Eniot, and so now we're finishing up this tour. We got about another week and a half to go, and then we have a couple days off, and then we go back out again for 2 weeks, and then after that we go down to South America for a couple shows, and then over to Europe for a month and a half. So it's pretty much just continuous touring. But we are working on the new album, and it should be out the end of this year. So that's the plan. Writing new stuff, new material. I guess we'll get to that if you have that question.
Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely one of my questions there for you. I'm sure we all want to know about that. So, also as well, are y'all planning on doing like any music videos for any of the tracks off Icons of Evil?
We were supposed to. What happened there is, at the time we did Icons, we were going to do a video and for Icons, and probably would have been Icons of Evil, and we were supposed to go down. Glenn wanted us to go to Florida, and the timing wasn't right with things that was going on with him, with legal stuff, and like we were trying to get him to come up to New York to shoot it, And because of the whole schedule thing and some, you know, the legal stuff he was going through, we weren't able to kind of lock it in and get him to kind of be able to do it, you know, just the scheduling of it. So it kind of sucks because we really wanted to put out a video finally for Icon. So I'm still thinking about somehow to do it, even though it's late. But if not, then maybe for the new album, we'll definitely make sure that we put out a video for it, you know? Because it's a shame that we didn't get to do like a video, proper video like we wanted to for Icons and everything.
So, like you said, you're all planning on doing a new album here pretty soon too. What are your plans in regards to that? Any idea on when you might want it to come out or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, we're working on it now. We're doing pre-production. We're recording and tracking at a rehearsal room on a 16-track recorder. We got the songs down. We're just trying to come up with some other stuff and ideas and leads, and kind of it's coming together real well. I'm really proud of the new stuff, and we're looking to have it out by the end of the year. And we're talking to several labels as well as Century Media again about perhaps re-signing with them. But right now we don't know yet. You know, I mean, we're just taking in all the offers and just seeing what, you know, what's best for the band. And we hope to have it out by the end of the year. That's the plan.
Awesome, very cool, very cool. So where can your fans pick up your, you know, your current music and your DVD and that kind of stuff?
They can pick it up at the MySpace / Vital Remains. That's the only thing we got. We don't get the website up right now. It's just the MySpace Vital Remains, and we have merch and DVDs and CDs and all that stuff. So they can pick up anything right off of that.
Very cool, very cool. So one final question, just any words for your fans out here in Texas?
I just want to say thank you to all the fans out in Texas, man. You guys are the best, and it's an honor to play for you guys. We've been coming down to Texas for years, since the early 90s, and you guys have always been really good to us. And I just want to just let you know that I'm grateful for all the support over the last 20 years, and it's our honor to be here, and we can't wait to just destroy this place tonight. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tony. We appreciate you coming out here, man.
Thank you very much, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you.
And guys, remember, y'all saw Tony from Vital Remains out here at the Demonic Gathering at the Warehouse Music Venue, right here, only on Robb's MetalWorks.
Thanks, Mike. Man. Appreciate it, brother.